Hey everybody, it's Zach. Welcome back to the Heroverse. And guys, we just got done with episode 7 of Outer Banks Season 3. This episode is actually called Anniversary, and we had many reasons on why it was called Anniversary. Annie was really excited for this episode because she's like, oh, I want to know why it's called that. So this one was definitely, like, at this point, like, I feel like the group is definitely split, and people are kind of on their own little, like... I feel like not everybody is caught up on the what's going on, but I'm gonna let Annie take over on really how this episode started and what you really liked about this episode and like.
Okay, so there's two things I really liked about this episode. The first one is like Kiara tells JJ she loves him.
Yeah, that did happen in this episode.
And he has like a weird reaction to it. It's like, okay, cool, whatever. Like,
because
he's like blown off. Because I guess she's so mad about the whole taking her dad's.
She's still mad about
clip.
that, about taking the money clip and him not really apologizing. He just shows up with John B to pretty much say, "Oh, we gotta go. We gotta save John B's father." You know what I mean? And she's like, "How like you just think that I'm just gonna go with you, and you're not even like here to say you're sorry." And of course, she tells like he's saying like pretty much she's like, "We need to talk about like we haven't talked since we got off the island. I want to talk about it." And of course, he doesn't want to talk about it because it's like there's nothing to talk about because he knows it's not going to work between them because of the fact that she's a kook whether she likes it or not, and he's a pogue, and her parents don't like him and don't like just John B and especially him. They just don't like the pogues and find it where like her daughter they think her daughter deserves better, and and pretty much that's a big issue is that it won't work because your parents don't like me and because it just like whether you think you're a pogue or not, it's like your parents don't like me and you're gonna be a kook whether you like it or not, and I'm a pogue and they just won't like me like that, which is crazy because again her father was a pogue. I don't understand why he doesn't have a little bit more sympathy for people that are pogues and that don't really have much of anything, on top of the fact of it was way out of line, like I said in the past episode where like again Kiara's father said that you're just like told JJ that he's just like his father. That was way out of line from a person that got beat up by his father. That was cut. That like he would say that about somebody, especially knowing how hard it is for JJ's life, how hard JJ's life is. But he doesn't care. He just wants what's good for his daughter and just doesn't care at all, which is really disappointing from where he comes from being a pogue. But I'm really upset because like I said, JJ kind of just turned it down, saying like, oh, like because he's like, oh, before I leave, because I can tell that you're not willing to help save John B's father. I can tell you're not willing to help. You're not about helping. Do me one last favor. Go tell your father I don't regret taking his money clip. And of course, was it Key said, what's wrong with you, JJ? And he's like, I forget what he says, but he says, we'll talk about it when I get back or if I come back. Meaning that this might be a mission they're not going to come back from. But and he was getting ready not to go over to go get Kiara because that's what John B wanted him to do, but he said I can't do that because last time I was over here, I don't want to ruin another party, and also I know Key's parents don't like me, so I can't do that.
And then John B's like, don't get seen.
Yeah, and he's like, no, I'm just gonna stay here. But of course Kiara's like, oh, John B's here. I kind of figured you weren't too far behind, but so you could go into the whole Sarah and what she's thinking about in this episode and the whole bunch of bullshit that happened there.
John B comes back from whatever he was doing. He was gone for a few episodes, like with his dad.
In the previous episode, he was with, he, like, kind of the only one that was caught up on what was going on about John B lying about finding the thing out in Charleston. He ends up telling JJ, I found the thing out in Charleston. My dad got captured by Singh's dude, got captured by Singh. They're all the way out in wherever, I think, what did he say, like, out in, he said somewhere, like, they're out wherever, and he's like, we have to go save him. So the only one who really knows what's going on is JJ, because JJ knew that John B was lying about something. Kind of everybody knew that John B was acting weird, but JJ was the one, the person there saying, well, John B, you want to come clean now about what's going on? And then pretty much, that's when they're like, okay, like, we're going to get the gang back together, but two people that are, like, that they were going to get did not want to end up going with them because shit was going down previously with JJ and Kiara about them not talking about what's going on, and then the money clip. And then, also with Sarah
and John B.
And then also, and on top of the things to add on that is, like, things added on to the problems, like with, them not talking, with with JJ and Kiara not talking about after the islands on top of the money clip, and that was getting resolved right then and there, and a whole bunch of things getting brought up on top of, like I said, John B and Sarah, and the thing of them arguing on top of, you could talk about the thing because we know what happened in last episode.
So John B comes back from being with his dad.
Yep. We're not even being with his dad, but going to get Sarah and Kiara to get them to get on the boat to help them save his father.
And he hugs Sarah, whatever, and they reunite, and then she goes, I can't leave without telling you something. Mm-hmm. She goes, I made a mistake and I'm probably never going to do it again, but I hooked up with Topper.
And right away, I said, real quick, before you get into this, I told Annie, I said, that's 10 times the worst, and it's still bad you kissing somebody else and when you are dating somebody and you made a commitment to a relationship,
or you're married,
which they are, whether it's through the right systems of being married, but either way, that just hit me 10 times worse. I was like, oh, they actually hooked up. It's not, they didn't just kiss, they hooked up. I was like, I said, bro, I was like, oh no, I felt so bad. I was so angry. I was like, you've got to be kidding me. And then, of course, he says, he's like, he's like, oh, so, you betrayed me, Sarah, death do us part, or whatever, and he just, walked away, and I was like, damn, and he just got so upset, because guess where Sarah ends up going right after that?
Topper.
Right back to Topper, and John B sees it, and beats the shit out of him. I was like, good, bro. And even JJ's like, don't do it, bro, don't do it, I know you want to, don't do it. Fight just broke out.
My heart sunk. I felt so bad for Topper.
Nah, bro, there is no feeling bad for Topper. I was so happy. I was like, get your ass beat, bro. You deserve it.
I love the actor who plays Topper.
He was an ass, and he knew better than that too.
I love Austin North, but I felt so bad.
I didn't feel bad.
Sung.
And I hate, it was funny, he played the victim card too, because he acted like, because he wasn't defending himself, he was just getting his ass beat. Because I bet you he wanted to act like he was the victim, and also he wanted to look good for Sarah. Be like, I'm the one that got beaten up, I'm so helpless. Dude deserved to get his ass beat. And if Sarah said just, Sarah just, pretty much, Key's father got John B off, and then pretty much, told him to get out, and of course, when Kiara's father grabbed John B, that's when JJ got involved and pretty much said, get off of him, man. And he said, and of course, Kiara's father's like, that's what I'm talking about with those pogues. They're nothing but trouble. And pretty much, Kiara, I don't even know. She kind of was disappointed, I think, at JJ for getting involved. And pretty much, I feel like at this moment, maybe she thought, like, oh, my father was right. Look at them. They're just nothing but trouble. And I feel like, for Sarah, she's kind of like, this was the answer I needed. Where, like, I knew it wasn't going to work out or something like that. I just feel like it just felt like season 1 vibes where, like, it just feels like everything is split, where it's the pogues and it's the coots. It just felt like that. And it was so upsetting because we know that Sarah became a pogue and of course, Kiara in her heart was a pogue, but it felt like just the line was split down the middle, and it felt like, Kiara kind of saw what her father was saying about they're just nothing but trouble, and I was so disappointed by the look that Kiara gave, like, oh, I'm just of disgust about how they did that. I was just like, nah, bro. I was like, this just annoys me. Like, that's not cool. It's not fair. What's going on right now? And I don't know. I'm a little bit worried that, like, I'm worried about, like, will Kiara want anything to do with JJ by the end of this? Will Kiara want anything to do with, John B by the end of this? Will Sarah want anything to do with John B? I'm just curious to know what's going to happen.
We have 3 episodes left.
And we have 3 episodes left. But, like, that's not even that's the craziness that happened at the end of this episode. But we still got to talk about Ward, and we still got to talk about Rafe.
Can I please talk about that?
Oh, 100%. Go right into it.
Okay, so Rafe, in the last episode, Rafe's on the phone with Ward saying, don't come here, I don't need you. Because now Rafe doesn't want to sell he doesn't want to sell the businesses, he doesn't want to sell the Cameron house.
He doesn't want to sell anything. Yeah.
So Ward gets on a plane and goes back to OBX.
Yep.
And he's like, he
was shocked. Rafe was shocked to see Ward. Like, yeah. I like, what are you doing here? I didn't think you were actually going to show up. Like, oh my god, like, what are you doing? And of course, a whole bunch of crazy shit goes down.
Yeah, Rafe told Ward how he, like, melted the cross down, melted the cross so he could sell it, like, bit by bit. And Ward's like, why the hell would you do that?
That's literally, yeah, go into it.
Ward's like, why the hell would you do that? we had planned to give it to the museum, like.
Because that was a one of a kind.
Yeah, like Pope wouldn't do in the first place.
And that was a one of a kind, and
Yeah.
that was an historic item that's a one of a kind, that's priceless. And he's like, how come you, like, why would you do that? And he's like, this was my thing. He said, just shut up, let me talk or whatever. Pretty
I'm
much saying,
talking now.
yeah, like, I'm the man. I don't need you, bro.
And he was just like getting really like aggressive and defensive towards Ward.
I mean, he like pushed him up against the wall.
Yeah, he like had him like this.
Yeah, pretty much like up against the wall, and he said like, I don't need you anymore.
I don't need you anymore and stuff like that. And
like, this is my house. I'm gonna be staying here. These are gonna be my businesses.
He's like, go home. I don't like.
Take your cane with you. Go home. Like, disrespect.
Go back to Guadalupe, but like.
Yeah.
He's there because I think he also came because he wanted to fix things with Sarah.
Yeah, he did.
Which he did. He gave Sarah was, as we know, Sarah was homeless. She had nowhere to go.
Yep.
So he gave her the keys to the condo.
Yep.
And he gave her a card with all the money she would need to live off of.
So it's not like, I feel like, and he did say like, I'm trying to make up for.
And Ward is
my kind of like my sins a bit. I'm trying to make up for my sins.
He's on a good path, and he, like, I guess like, when he had the flashbacks of him and Sarah when she was little, I guess it reminded him of who he used to be before all this.
All the gold and all the greediness and all the what you're willing to do to get the gold. Like, again, it's just when it comes to the gold and comes to this, you just get insane almost. It's like a curse. You get insane. You go mad. You get like aggressive. Like, I feel like that's what, I mean, hell, John B. saw it with his father. He you know what I mean? He's willing to, like, he's so like obsessed that he gets aggressive, and he's willing to do anything to get what he wants, to get the goal. Ends up becoming an obsession, and Rafe has the obsession. Him thinking that was his to melt down. No.
Ward used to have the obsession, not anymore.
And you know what's crazy is that, again, I even told Annie, like, Ward created Rafe. He did this, and he even saw, like, what have I done? Like, look what I turned my son into.
I feel like now that Ward is on a good path, he realizes. I think after he got hurt on the Coastal Adventure, he saw that he realized that, oh, this is making me mad. I can't do this anymore. I need to get back onto a good path and get Madara's good graces again.
You know what's crazy? I don't even know about that though, because even like Sarah said, you want to prove to me that you've changed, give the Pogues the gold. Give the Pogues the gold. And he's like, oh, they at least deserve some of it. I was like, nah, bro, it's theirs. They found it. It's theirs. I was like, what do you mean some of it, dude? So, I don't know. He's back on that greediness a little bit. It's still there, but not nearly as bad as Rafe right now. Like, oh my god, like Rafe.
Freaking burned.
He's gone.
It freaking melted.
I can't even get over he melted that. And even you know it's bad when even Ward was like, what did you do? Like, you did that? You just burnt, you melted down a priceless artifact that's a one of a kind, that's priceless. What is wrong with you? You had no right to do that. He's like, hey, shut up. This is mine or whatever. I'm the one talking. I was like, damn, bro. I was like, and you saw on Ward when Rafe had him up against the wall. Ward was scared. He's like, oh shit, like, what have I created? Like, what have I done? So it's like, I'm excited to see if he'll get with everybody, or maybe he'll realize I need to do this for my family. I need to do it to protect everybody else from Rafe. I need to turn him in and tell him and tell Sheriff tell Shoop that my son killed Peterkin and I staged my death to take the blame for him. I feel like that's gonna come out, and I feel like because he saw that his son's too far gone, and he is a safety hazard. He is. He's gonna hurt so many people, and I feel like Ward knows that now. So I'm excited to see what will go. But even Barry, after the whole interaction with them, when Rafe said, my dad's in town. Even Barry, said, I told Annie, I was explaining to Annie because Annie wasn't really sure what was going on. I was like, Barry's pretty much telling Rafe to take his father off the board. So, because the only one that knows that he killed the only one that knows about who killed Peterkin is Ward, and Ward knows that Rafe killed Peterkin. So that's threatening their business about them selling off the gold here and there to get money. It's putting their business at risk and putting Barry's living at risk if Rafe gets put away because of Ward. So he's like, you need to do it before he takes you off the leaderboard. So it's like, it's either you or him. So I don't know, is Rafe going to do it? A part of me thinks he won't, but I think he will. I think him saying I don't need you anymore, I feel like was the last pin in the coffin really. or nail in the coffin, not pin. To say like, I feel like he might actually do it, and if not him, I see Barry doing it for sure, probably. Because it's his future at risk. It's his money that, you know, if that Ward's gonna be messing with now, because now, you know, Rafe brought Barry into the mix. So if Rafe goes down, Barry goes down essentially, and him dealing with like in his money and his deal that he made with Rafe and his good life. So I don't know. It's gonna be very interesting to see what happens going forward. I'm excited also because, you know, JJ and John B, where they came from was from, they had to go find Neville, which that was funny when JJ screamed, "Yo, Neville!" And he's like, John B's like, "Dude, what are you doing or whatever? I mean, he might be packing to get out of here because people are after him." And he's like, "Oh yeah, you're right about that." So I thought that was funny. Like, you know, that whole sequence with the goons do show up. Was it Singh's dudes? And I hate that one dude. That one dude that Singh, you know, that one dude that Singh has been, you know, pretty much, you know, sending after everybody.
With like the whole freaking season.
It just is so freaking annoying, that one guy. And it was so funny to me when, you know, he thinks he has John B, and of course, you know, JJ comes up behind him and just yanks him into the water. I thought that was funny. It's like that dude keeps getting beat by kids, essentially, like teenagers.
Yeah, they're like
18, I guess 19. Young adults, because they're kind of like 18. They're supposed to be 18 in the show and shit like that. So I just found it hilarious. I'm like, that must be tough for that dude. You're this like hired hand, you know what I mean? This hired like man to, you know what I mean, like this hitman, and you're just getting taken down by like these teenagers like every freaking time, bro. Yeah. It's funny as hell. But I'm excited to go into was it episode 8? I'm excited to go into episode 8, and like I said, after that we only have 2 more episodes, so I'm excited to see how they end this season. And also I'm really hoping, like I said, that like Sarah and John B can somehow work it out. Especially, I'm really hoping that Kiara and JJ can work it out somehow. I feel like that was so damaging. I feel like I'm a little worried because Kiara was just like, "What's wrong with you?" and kind of looked just disgusted at JJ. So I don't know. I'm a little worried.
Yeah.
What's gonna happen with that? I really want them to be together. But I mean, I understand John B why he was angry. Like, you know, Sarah, you know, cheated. She wasn't loyal. I mean, yeah, there's only one person that's at fault for that, and it's her. I mean, yeah, they have an argument, but it doesn't mean you go do some shit like that. You know what I mean? It's not okay. You talk through the argument. You don't cheat, especially with Topper, bro. Like that's schmuck, bro. Topper. No, bro, that's schmuck. But I don't know. I'm excited to go on to the next episode. We're actually about to go on to it right now. We're gonna try to get all these out and bounce these out for you guys tonight. But yeah, guys. If you're new here, subscribe to the channel, put in notifications, like this video. Definitely let us know what you guys think about episode 7. Did you like it? Did you not like it? Definitely let us know, like, if you've binged the season, what was your favorite episode without giving us any spoilers. And let us know, are you excited for season 4? And do you think that season 4 should be the last season? I'm really curious to know how long you think the series should go on for. And also, yet again, guys, here, if you were new to the channel, I think I said that. Did I say that? You're new to the channel? Yeah. Okay. But also, guys, the goal is to get to 700 subscribers. That is the goal. My initial goal is to hit 1,000 by the end of this year. I know we can do it again with your support. So like I said, subscribe to the channel, put in notifications, like this video, and definitely, you know, stay tuned for the last 3 episodes of season 3 of Outer Banks. We're about to jump into episode 8. But guys, we're going to end this video off here. I hope everybody has a great day, a safe day, and we'll see you guys next time. Peace.